The latest effort to delegitimize Donald Trump is to point out all of the potential conflicts of interest. Now, it's true, we've never had a president-elect with such a vast global empire, many possibilities and opportunities to mix business with pleasure. Now, for his part, Donald Trump has said that he's going to be putting all of his assets in a blind trust and handing over control to his children to take over his businesses. But even that has some issues, and we're going to get to that. Now, Owen Schroyer joins me. We're going to take a look at the latest big outrage here. I know Friday, kind of over the weekend, a lot of people were talking about Donald Trump is going to work on Celebrity Apprentice in his spare time. Now, obviously, he's the executive producer. He's the one that helped to come up with the idea for the show. But people don't understand there's many different positions that an executive producer would do. Frankly, he's just there to write the checks. He's going to spend zero time on Celebrity Apprentice. But they're trying to make this into some huge scandal. It's not as if he's going to be out playing golf 4 hours a day, 365 days.
Oh, no president's ever done that.
Right.
Well, I'm not surprised that The Apprentice would want him back. If you recall, he saved that television series from going completely under. But as far as his role is concerned, like you said, I don't think it'll be something that takes away too much of his time. At least I would hope, as somebody that supports Trump, that he, pushes that off. He said he's going to put all of his business interests away.
He's going to go on to the daytime
right.
talk, the nightly talk shows like President Obama in his spare time when they've got people being beheaded.
But isn't that what this is all about, Leanne? This is all about double standards here. Mm-hmm. That's what we're talking about. And another double standard that I'm seeing is people talking about foreign influence in our election. We need to be concerned about foreign influence. Well, now hold on a second. Let's take a look at the Clinton Foundation. You want to talk about foreign influence? How about all of the foreign money that the Clinton Foundation has taken? Now, we've got a lot of stories, but here's just a few examples. Because since we're concerned about foreign influence with the Russians, let's look at some of the foreign influence that Hillary Clinton is under. Saudi Arabian influence. The foundation disclosed that Saudi Arabia donated between $10 and $25 million. The foundation received an additional $1 to $5 million donation from the Friends of Saudi Arabia, which was co-founded by a Saudi Arabian prince. How about the Moroccan king? Clinton arranged for her foundation to host a meeting in Morocco in return for a $12 million donation from the country's king. The donation came from a Moroccan state-owned mining company, which later received a $92 million loan guarantee while Clinton served as Secretary of State. So a little pay for play there.
Right.
And then you've got the Russian influence. How about the Russian influence on the Clintons? Canadian leaders of a mining company funneled millions of dollars to the foundation while Clinton served as Secretary of State. At the same time, they needed Department of State approval for the sale of their company to Russia. How convenient. The Clinton State Department approved that deal, which gave Russia control of 1/5 of the entire uranium supply in the United States. The chairman of the uranium mining company donated $2.35 million to the Clinton Foundation without any disclosure from the Clintons. And then just to put a nice bow on it, after Russia announced its intention to make a bid for the uranium mining company, former President Bill Clinton was paid $500,000 to deliver a speech in Moscow. You've also got the Indonesian tobacco pay for play. So there's your foreign influence, folks.
Right.
You want to sit here and complain about foreign influence on the election. Where have you been for the last decades with the Clinton campaign?
Right. And they're kind of testing this outrage. Where was the outrage when we were trying to point out all of the conflicts of interest with the Clinton Foundation? Her biggest contributions there came from people who had business dealings in front of the State Department. So like you talked about, it's the pay for play. And the entire time that Hillary Clinton was out there on the campaign trail, all the establishment media was really going the extra mile to tell everyone that there was no issues there, no conflict of interest. But now it's a huge deal that we have foreign diplomats apparently lining up to do business at Trump's D.C. hotel. They're saying, well, this is crazy. Donald Trump's business dealings are going to test a constitutional limit. We have all these foreign governments. There's actually a Chinese company that holds a lease in one of his buildings. And so when the lease is up, what are they going to do? Is that going to be a potential conflict of interest? And so now there's all of this feigned outrage. Of course, they're also really outraged at the fact that his children are going to have such a pivotal role in his administration. They were really coming after Ivanka when she used an opportunity. She was wearing a bracelet during a post-election interview on 60 Minutes, and her jewelry company said, ooh, buy this bracelet that Ivanka wore in her 60 Minutes interview. So obviously they're saying, well, she's already using her position to enrich her businesses. But look at Chelsea Clinton. This is what this girl has done throughout her entire career. She was paid $600,000+ in annual salary to go be an analyst on NBC. She appeared on there maybe 3 times. So she got paid $600,000, so that almost $1 million by the time her contract ended, of course. But she was completely in charge of the Clinton Foundation. Her mother said, and this was something that they said that she violated the spirit of the ethics pledge that she took when she said that she would, for the duration of her appointment as secretary, if I'm confirmed, I will not participate personally and substantially in any particular matter involving specific parties in which the Clinton Foundation, But now we know that that's not true because she went out of her way to help a lot of her donors get job offers and job opportunities. And it was, like you said, a lot of pay to play. A lobbyist with the group Public Citizen said the Clinton Foundation was taking money from anybody who would give it. The biggest contributions were from people who had business before the State Department. These were donors to the family charity. Of course, they called it a charity to have it be a tax exemption. They ended up only giving, 4% or something to charitable causes, but most of it was a way to pay back their big donor. And
to buy their jet that they can fly around on and politically campaign. And let's not forget as well, speaking of conflict of interest, that Chelsea Clinton serves on the board of directors for multiple quote unquote news sites. But how about this?
Corporate board positions as well with companies who run by her parents, which support her. So she's getting all of these job positions on the board. Oh, Chelsea here, because they really truly felt that Hillary Clinton would be the president, and they were trying to, get their foot in the door with her.
And let's be perfectly clear, is if you're doing things legally and you're moving money around, or, you got charities and all this, we're not complaining about that. Okay. At least I'm not. I'm complaining about corruption. That's my problem. Corruption is my problem. And then on top of that, the double standards that they want to initiate when they look at Donald Trump. But how's this for irony, Leanne? More than half of Clinton Foundation's major donors would be barred under a new rule. Now, tell me if you believe this. Now, as I just said, more than half the Clinton Foundation's major donors would be prevented from contributing to the charity under the self-imposed ban on corporate and foreign donors. The foundation said this week, this is an older story, if Hillary Clinton won the White House. Now, first of all, she didn't. But second of all, I don't believe that for 1 second. They're not going to bite the hand that feeds them. This is the most corrupt foundation possibly ever. And it goes on. Clinton Foundation charity failed to disclose $250 million in foreign government donations. The Clinton Health Access Initiative failed to list $250 million in contributions. That is according to a research done by a government watchdog. Let me quote the exact person here. John Wunderlich, he heads the Sunlight Foundation, which is a government watchdog. He says, even if there had been other organizations that failed to disclose their foreign donors, that's not an excuse for the Clinton Foundation to not disclose their foreign donors, and it is not an excuse for Schneiderman's office to fail to enforce the law. Schneiderman was in the New York government when the Clintons were doing this. So how's that for irony?
Well, absolutely. And so here again, they're really talking about what a powerful position Ivanka is going to have. They're saying, it's easy to envision scenarios where other countries are going to be using Trump's children as a conduit to funnel money his way, which of course we've seen with Chelsea Clinton. That is not illegal, though. Unfortunately, it's not illegal. The president is exempt from conflict of interest laws, but what they're trying to go after him now is with this emoluments clause. It's an obscure provision of the Constitution. Emolument means compensation for labor or services. The clause says that no person holding any office of profit or trust shall accept any present emolument, office, or title of any kind from any king, prince, foreign state, whatever. So now they're really going to be using these obscure clauses to really go after Donald Trump. And as we can see, like you've mentioned before, I know you and Margaret are going to be talking a little bit about Russia coming up next, but they're really going to take this all the way to Inauguration Day, and there really is no backpedaling. But at least, hey, the media is finally doing their job and checking those in power.
But only when it's Trump.
Yes. When it's Donald Trump. So we're going to continue checking Donald Trump as well. He is not exempt from the info war. Stay tuned for more.
In case you haven't heard, InfoWars has become the most influential media outlet in America. We're making freedom go viral. And now we are proud to announce a new weapon in the epic battle against the globalists. InfoWars Prime, where you can watch live high-definition feeds of The Alex Jones Show, plus exclusive insider videos from the InfoWars crew and behind-the-scenes action. Go to Infowars.com/app and download today. InfoWars Prime is available right now for your iPhone or Android. You will have access to exclusive videos that you can't see anywhere else. And that means live coverage of events and breaking news on location as it happens. You can also take advantage of amazing deals from the InfoWars store that are only available for InfoWars Prime subscribers. That's InfoWars Prime at Infowars.com/app. And if you can hear my voice, you are the resistance.